Hey guys, it's Tim Sanders here, your favorite mortgage broker. I'm starting a new podcast. This is my very first guest, Xavier. Xavier, what's going on, man?
How you doing, brother?
Nothing much.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Really, really excited. Just being authentic. This is my first podcast, so I'm really just excited to be here and talk.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So just give you guys a little bit of history about Xavier. Me and him, we used to work together before in the past at a different company, and then also he was when I got back into writing loans. He was the very first loan that I wrote. So it was only right to have him to be my very first guest. So Xavier, tell us a little bit about you, man. Tell us exactly what it is that you do.
Well, name's Xavier Scott. Born and raised here in Detroit. Went to Northwood University. Got my BBA and my MBA from there. It's been an up and down road for me. Just getting started in the work world, coming out of college. But all in all, I'm happy where I am. Happy what I'm doing. Really excited about it, and pretty much just a financial representative right now, running my own practice. Getting in front of many people, enjoying it, telling me about what they're doing, telling about what I'm doing, and just being a resource for everyone I come in contact with. I'm really enjoying that process.
Okay. All right. What type of services do you provide at what you do?
So first, it's not just me. I have a full team backing me up, full of senior advisors who have years, 20 plus years experience of just helping people. And what we do is very simple. We help people reach their retirement goals. We help them with income and asset protection, different tax mitigation strategies and legacy planning, really focusing on the safer segment of your wealth so that you can reach your retirement goals or just your goals in general. So it's just kind of a broad aspect of what we do there.
So, and just to give you guys some history. So, in the past, I'll send some of my clients that are not ready to purchase a home yet. I'll send them over to Xavier to help them out with coming up with saving tips or saving ways to be able to help them save. I know how my day is on a typical day, but I really want to know how your day is. 'Cause I know me personally, I have a schedule where I wake up in the morning, I make sure I answer emails, and I have a 2-hour call block, and then I'm searching for new business, processing old loans. How is your day? What is your day like?
Yeah. So first of all, Tim does send me some characters, man. You guys no, everyone he sends me is really a great conversation. My boy, man, just to be funny, that one lady, he sent me a lady and she was like, "Help me? How you gonna help me?" And I was just like, "Well, I tried," So it's always fun in that aspect. But a typical day for me, every day I wake up around 5:30, and I just got a new puppy, so I'm actually waking up, getting the puppy going, feeding them, taking them outside.
Wait, pause right there. I want to tell you one thing. I have mentioned to this man several times not to get a puppy, because I have a Saint Bernard, and it's the worst decision I ever let my wife talk me into. The reason why is because the dog becomes bigger than everyone else in the house, and the only person that can take care of it is you.
Right.
So now you just added another job for yourself, and that's not.
Dude,
that's not ideal.
Cane Corso, and I literally just took him to the vet today, and that was another $100 right there. So I should have listened to you, Tim. Shouldn't have got that dog. But no. So a typical day for me: get up 5:30, get the dog going. From there, once I'm done with the dog, I go straight into my gratitude for the day. I like to read the Bible and pray in the morning, then hop in the shower, and I'm usually in the office, usually around between 8 and 9 o'clock, and then from there, 9 to 10, I'm usually catching up on emails, doing some training, really focusing on what I have going on for the day, and then 10 o'clock, I'm pretty much locked and loaded, ready to go. Meetings started. If I'm not in the meeting, I'm on the phone. If I'm not on the phone, I'm in the meeting. So I'm just trying to stay as busy as I can right now, trying to help as many people as I can. And just like I said, man, I'm really just enjoying the process of really being in front of people, teaching them what I know, helping them grow, and really get to the level that they're trying to get to. So
I can get that. One thing I want to say was I appreciate I appreciate this, man. For on last year, I sent them a few clients, but it was two clients in particular. I sent it to him. I believe it was like Mayish, and he helped them come up with a game plan on how much they need to save and how to start saving and come up with good habits. And then by November, December-ish, we're ready to buy a home. So like, what type of tips do you have that you can give away right here? Some jewels you can drop to let people know, like, hey, these are what you can do. This is what you can do in order to prepare yourself to buy a home, to prepare yourself to leave a legacy for your family.
So, it was funny because I actually remember that couple, and I'm not gonna say no names, but it was like pulling teeth to get them to just really follow their plans to get them where they want to be. Really just came down to just having the discipline to really follow their plan. It's definitely a plan my team, suggested, but all in all, it was their plan to follow. And, just different tips on just saving in general. What I like to go by is the 60-20-20 rule. And essentially what this is 60% of your income. What you'll do is you use that for, expenses, bills, planning, other things of that nature. 20% of it is simply just for you. Hey, let's have a little fun. I know you like to go to the bar, you like to go shopping, do what you want to do. Some people, like to drink. I don't know what you do, but hey, have fun. So, and then that last 20%, save it. Put it in an account where you don't touch it, a separate account from, your regular account where you spend all your money from. This is an account where typically you just pretty much want a savings account. You don't want a checkings account. You don't want to pull from it. This is you just saving that 20% of your income for a rainy day, for the event something happens, and just kind of save it there, leave it there. Really, and really it was that couple just getting them to commit every single month. This is what we need saved because this is what our closing costs potentially will be. So let's have enough for the closing costs, and then also have just a little bit more for anything past that closing cost. So it was a fun experience. Really helped me grow and learn how to keep people disciplined and push them to help them reach where they wanted to be. I didn't want the house for them. They wanted that house. Well, how can we get that house? What do we need to do to get that house? Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So I was talking to DJ earlier today, and we are talking about how the market is back, and basically how we've been seeing multiple offers going on certain properties. How we've been seeing people putting in offers over asking or appraisal guarantees. Right now in this economy, like, how do you feel? Like, you feel that 6 months of savings is enough to have somebody to have a cushion, or do you think that they need to have more? Because when I tell my borrowers, I say, hey, I don't want to leave you house poor once you purchase this home. I don't want to empty out everything out of your account. What do you suggest?
Yeah, no, definitely. Just put it in this perspective. Wouldn't you want to have 6 months of your expenses sitting into account for emergency purposes? Yeah. So, that definitely is a smart tactic and a smart way to go about things. And I'll even take it further. I'll say, 6 months should be the minimum of, what you should have in your account and ready to utilize, in the event something happens and you need to utilize it. And then I'll also go further and say 12 months should be the maximum that you keep into that account. Everyone thinks that cash should be in the bank. Cash should not always be in the bank. It should be there for emergency purposes, for in the event something happens. And, just having it there in the bank, what we're doing is we're just hedging against inflation. The interest is not accumulating in that account, so we're just holding it in that account and it's not growing. So now that we're holding it in that account and it's not growing, it's not doing anything, what do we do with our extra dollars? We're just going to keep putting it in there and nothing's happening?
So what do you tell? So in that case, then, instead of you telling us to keep the maximum of 12 months in that account, what's the other options? How do I make sure that I'm getting interest back on my money? How do I make sure my money is working for me?
Well, it's many different tools, and I think it's really situational for every person. Every person doesn't have 6 months of, cash reserve in their accounts. And so if they don't have 6 months, how are they going to have 12 months? And so it's just all depends on the person. But, there's many different assets that we can use to utilize our cash in an efficient way. And some of those assets that guarantee that your dollars are safe are just different types of just great insurance planning. I'll just say it like that. Just great insurance planning. Really utilizing it for interest gaining, allowing your dollars to work for you instead of just having it in an account where it's inflation is hitting it hard. It's not growing. I mean, if we just take a look back at just the past year of what inflation has been, it's been what, around 8%. So like you're not gaining any growth in those accounts. And many different insurance companies actually have incredible excess of cash on reserve, just mountains of capital on reserve. And you as a policyholder in that insurance company, they'll actually pay out a dividend that will go towards your insurance planning, and it'll actually cause growth there. So many individuals actually see more growth in proper insurance planning than they actually do having it just sitting into a bank account.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot.
I mean,
I know that as time keeps going on, like I know when I went to school, when I went out to college, college didn't cost as much as it's costing right now. I feel like college right now is expensive, right? So like, what type of advanced degrees do you think people should be going for? Because my mother always taught me, the more you learn, the more you earn.
right.
And in order for people keep coming to me, hey Tim, I want this $500,000-$600,000 home, but the amount of money that they're earning
Right.
is not reflecting that they want to be able to purchase that home. So how can I advise people to say, hey, these are the fields that you probably need to go into to be able to make this money, to be able to afford this home?
Well, I mean, everyone's a little optimistic. Everyone wants a little bit more than they have, what they can afford. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people I talk to, and they're like, I want $1 million. And so you have to break it down to like, well, do you want to have $1 million sitting in an account, or do you want to earn $1 million, through your lifetime? So, it's just really, again, just one of those situational things where, college, I always say college is for, it's for anybody. It's not for everybody. It's for anybody who has the discipline to get up and go to class. Anybody who has the discipline to do your work. Anybody who has the discipline to be there and attentive and answer questions. So it's not for everybody. So, every profession is not for everybody either.
Right.
So
Right.
is it necessary for every profession to have a advanced degree, a college degree? No. Is it important to have it in certain fields? Yes. I think it's important to, for growth fields, for fields where you are, on the corporate ladder. I think it's important for, our fields as well when we're dealing with finance. And I say that because, you don't want to work with somebody who doesn't have the discipline to get up and go to class. You don't want to work with somebody who doesn't have the discipline to do their own work. You can't even do your work. How can I expect you to do some work for me? So,
Reach.
I don't think it's necessary for every field you in. And of course, we have plenty of entrepreneurs and individuals who have succeeded, well beyond expectation without any form of higher education. But at the same time, when you work in, certain fields and certain, different, careers and things like that, you definitely want someone in your corner who has the discipline to at least at the very minimum, had the discipline to go to college and do something a little bit further than what they were already doing. So it builds trust, if anything. Like, hey, this person can get up and go to class. This person can do their work. This person has a degree. I would definitely work with them instead of somebody just coming off the street and saying, hey, man, I'm in financial services. All right, well, what have you done? So you have no experience, you have no degree, you have nothing, but you want me to give you my money. You want to help me when you can't even help yourself. So I don't think it's important for every field, but for certain people, for certain fields, certain careers, it is very important. So
Okay. So as of lately, What I've been noticing is like I know you've been seeing in the news how the big banks have been crashing, and like some of these banks in California have been going down.
Hmm.
What I love, like me being a mortgage broker, what I love to go against is when a real estate agent says, "Hey Tim, there's another offer here," and that offer comes from a big bank because
Hmm.
I know that I can beat them out. Um, I've been seeing more and more lately that people have been losing trust in banks, man. How do you feel about that? Like, I'm seeing people pulling their money from banks and like they're finding other avenues. Like every week, I feel like I'm trying to communicate to borrowers that I can't use your mattress money. I can't use your
Yeah.
mattress money to close on a home. We got to have your money in a bank. You know what I'm saying? Or we got to have your money somewhere secure.
You got to be able to trace it too.
There has to be some type of like, you know what I'm saying, something that I can trace it back to. Like,
Mhm.
it can't just be straight from your mattress. So, like, how do you feel about that? Like, as far as like, what is your opinions about these banks crashing, about the market and the industry that we're in right now?
Honestly, it's scary. Just watching big banks, crash the way they're crashing, having to do bailouts, and just going away. It's scary as a member of that bank. What is going to happen to my money? Is it secure? Is it safe? There's a lot of questions that come behind that, and you as an individual just have to make that decision. Where do we want our dollars working? You know what I'm saying? Money is supposed to work for you. You're not supposed to work for money. I mean, yes, we do on a daily basis,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, money is supposed to work for you.
Wait, repeat that.
You-
No,
now
seriously.
you're confusing me, man. Sorry, no, but no, seriously, money is supposed to work for you. You're not supposed to. You are supposed to work for money, but technically, money is supposed to work for you. When you get those dollars, it's time to put them to use. Sitting in the bank is not putting them to use. And even scarier now that banks are crashing, banks are losing money and getting bailed out by other banks. And again, as a policy owner, someone a member of that bank, all I can think about is what is going to happen to my money. If I have $20,000 sitting in a bank account and the bank crashes or it needs to be bailed out, then all right, what's going to happen to my money that's sitting in that bank account? Is it going to just go away? I mean, clearly, they have different situations or supplements in place so that you don't lose that money, but still, as a member, if my money goes on hold at any second, I'm now nervous. So now it's time to think of different avenues, things that will allow you to easily access cash, but also allows your money to work for you. And that's why I stress just different insurance type products,
That was the very next question I was going to ask you. Is like, where do you suggest us to put our
mm,
money at? Because I got a guy right now who has $1 million in a savings account. The savings account is only paying him maybe 0.5, you know what I'm saying,
right.
percent of interest. So what do I tell him? Because he's one of them older guys who's stuck in their ways. He's like, hey, I had my money in this account. My dad started my account 50 years ago. Do I keep does he keep the money in the account? Does he move it somewhere else? Tell me what should he do.
Well, what you should do is make that introduction. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should do, man. Just tell him, hey, I got a guy who specializes in, handling accounts $1 million plus, $500,000 plus, whatever the number is. I have an entire team that specializes in, really, utilizing that capital for, the better use for them. Safer segment allows it to grow. How long has he had that $1 million? It's been sitting in an account. Is it still $1 million? Has he spent some of it? Has he not spent some of it? Is it, you say it's earning 0.5%. So now what is $1 million and $5 after 5 years or so? Like it's not earning anything. What are we doing? We're just letting it sit there.
Yep.
For what use? For what purpose? Is it being passed down? It's just questions that need answered. Why does he want to sit in there? Why do you need that much capital sitting into an account? What is it for? You
Right.
don't. So what can we do with this capital to allow it to grow safely, guaranteed? It's just different insurance type products that will allow for that. So make that introduction, man. Just
I
tell
definitely
them,
will. I
man.
definitely will. Hey, so just by you just saying that, just like that, it makes me. It reminds me of when I first did his loan for him, right? And I tell him this all the time because he was the person who had like unbelievable amount of faith. Unbelievable amount of faith. Because I did not believe. I kept telling him, I was like, man, I don't think you're gonna close on this long. I kept telling him, I said, we got to find a way to get your money back. He's like, no, we're gonna close. Don't worry about it. And sure enough, he figured out a way how to make it happen and made it work. And yeah,
Hey, nothing but the grace of God. I'm telling you, man. Because I had no idea, man. I remember we just that whole conversation. Tim hit the group chat. He said, "Hey, man, I just got my license back. You know, anybody trying to buy a house, let me know." And jokingly, I was like, "Shoot, I want a house." And he was like, "Let's run your credit, see if you get approved." And I'm like,
ran his
"Bro,
credit.
terrible."
Ran his credit that day. Gave him a game plan, what he needs to do, because I think he had something with a student loan.
Yeah, I had a couple accounts on there that just. I don't know. It was from when I used to live in Millen in college. It was a cable account or something like that was on my credit report. And you was like, bro, if you get rid of this will help your credit score go up. And I did it that same day. And you was like, bro, I ain't think he was about to do it that quick, but credit score just went up like 50 points. Let's go get a house. I'm like, what? Like, I can't afford no house, man. So we came up with a game plan, man. And, he was like, dude, you know what I'm saying? Just start saving. Let me worry about the money part. You just go start looking for a house. And then, he swindled me all into a family affair. His dad was my real estate agent. So
Don't tell the people I swindled you guys.
I honestly do appreciate you and your dad. Made it 100% easier for me. I remember we had got into a house and I didn't want the house, signed the purchase agreement already. And I know your dad was pissed because he like, man, we've been looking for months. We found the house and now you don't want the house. So, man, you guys just made it definitely a lot easier. The process was it was very smooth going. And for my very first process buying a house where I was just nervous, didn't know what to expect, didn't know where the money was going to come from. But I was just saving, had faith, and was like, bro, I'm going to have that money. April 9th was the closing date. I'm going to have the money April 9th. And sure enough, that day I had enough. And I actually had money to save, too. So it was pretty cool.
So that's like one thing that I specialize in, or that I pride myself on, is like when clients come to me, not everybody that comes to me to buy a home, not everybody's in a cookie cutter situation where they have perfect credit, perfect income, and perfect amount of money in the bank. So I call it the three-legged stool, right? So you got your income, your credit, and your assets. So I can work magic. I mean, magic. If you got two good legs,
Mm-hmm.
but if you only got one good leg, it's almost impossible, right? So if you got two good legs, if you got the income and the credit, I can worry about getting you some type of grant money. If you got the assets and the credit, we got companies that deal with high DTI. So we got things that we can. Companies that we have that can take care of that for you. But outside of that, like, I think one thing that I do enjoy the most is like helping people get to their dreams, their end goal, right? So clients come to me all the time in the low 500s, and then within a month time span, I'm getting them in the mid 600s, and now they're able to shop for a home, and now they're paying less than they are paying on rent for an actual mortgage. And they're like, Tim, like, you saved my life. Like, last year alone, how many birthday parties I went to, birthday parties, Christmas, Thanksgiving, anytime they had any type of like parties at their home, they always invited me. As a matter of fact, you invited me to what, three of your
about 3 barbecues. Yeah.
So every client, you know what I'm saying, is not in a perfect situation, but you're still able to find a way to make it work. I always tell people, being a mortgage broker, one thing that I have learned, everybody qualifies, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody qualifies. You just got to find the perfect bucket to put that person in, and if that person is willing to work. If you're willing to work, I'm willing to work for you as well. I'm willing to help you to get to that next level and become a homeowner. Yeah, man. Like, with that being said, like, I know what made me get into this industry. So what made me get into becoming a mortgage broker, I seen my sister was getting denied when she was trying to purchase a home. I was a mortgage underwriter for a little bit of time, and I seen companies deny people for reasons that did not make any sense. So I see people have money in the bank, decent credit scores. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense that we're denying this person. So I decided to step out of what I was doing, step out of a six-figure salary job to go into originating mortgages for myself and say, like, hey, I want to be able to help the people, figure out a way to help them get into homes, right? And since then, I have done nothing but that, like, just been able to put people in homes where they thought they weren't able to get into homes. But what made you decide to become, you know, what I'm saying, a financial advisor? What pushed you in that direction?
Interesting, but so I would say, man, this career really chose me, and though though I really been only practicing for just a little bit over a year now, um, since I was in high school, I've had friends, family, just different, colleagues and things like. Well, I didn't have colleagues in high school, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But just different friends and everything. Like, dude, you're so good with your money. Can you help me with my money? And I'm just like, what? Like, why would you want help from? Like, I'm in high school. Why would you want help from me in my money? Like you grown in your 20s. Like, this is like older cousins and stuff just asking me, hey, can you help me with my money? So it's just always been one of those type of deals. And then actually, when I was done with my MBA program, I actually started as a financial representative up in Midland, Michigan, and it was definitely a grind. I started something that I just was not prepared for at the time. Didn't know what I was getting myself into. Didn't have the help that I thought I should have had. So it was really hard. So from there, I just transitioned, came back down to Detroit, lived with my grandmother, and actually became a mortgage underwriter. I was there working at the company with you, and for about 3.5 years was doing that, and was really just kind of just over underwriting. I just didn't really see growth. I didn't see, just for myself in the position I was in, I just didn't see myself really growing to be what am I? I'm an underwriter here. Am I going to become a better underwriter, the top underwriter? Like, I just didn't see what the growth was there for me. So I really just wanted to
Wait, I want to pause there for a second. I want everybody to know I love underwriters. All right, that's only him. So all the people that's looking at my files right now, I love you guys.
CTC, come on now. We need to get those CTC. Get these people their houses. It's a dream of somebody's, man. I didn't even think of it like that, man. But it was really one of my dreams to be able to purchase a house. My entire life, we lived in apartments, man. So literally one of my dreams was to buy a house. My next dream is to build a house. I have, I'm one of those people with big optimistic dreams too, where I want $300,000, or not 300,000, but 300 acres of land. And, I know that's a lot, but is it a lot? You got to think big. You want big, you got to think big, attack
Exactly,
it, go get it. So, but really what got me here in this career, just to come back to it, like I was saying, I stopped, came back, was in underwriting. Now I'm back into the industry, but really it just started with me at a young age. Not a lot of people in my family have, any financial savvy. They don't really know much about it. And it's just my goal to understand how money works, to teach people how money works, to really, start to create a legacy for myself and my family, and teach others how to do so. And also just to prepare for the unexpected. I don't really tell people a lot, but, when I was in college, I'm a single child. I come from a single parent household. My mother actually passed away when I was in college, in my MBA program, getting out of college. Right before graduation, she passed away from lupus. It was it just left a devastating impact on our family, both emotionally and financially, to the point where, we actually had to start a GoFundMe to bury her. That is not fun. That is a, uncomfortable situation. And my goal is to make sure, no one has to go through that, to be unprepared for the unexpected, to now they can create legacies. Now they can know how to, mitigate their taxes, or now it's just, hey, let's focus on planning for retirement, things that are important for the future that may happen, may not happen, but hey, we are prepared for it either way. That's my goal. That's why I love doing what I do. And really one of the main reasons I got into this industry, just so others do not have to go through that experience. So
I like that. No, man, that's some deep stuff. I'm happy that I was able to help you accomplish that goal. Hopefully I'm there, when you buying those 300 acres. But yeah, no, I definitely appreciate you for coming out here. And I want to ask you, there's people out there, they want to know, how can I get in contact with you? How can they, I know you're a busy man. what's your email, what's your phone number, what's your Instagram, what's your grandmama number. Put it all out there.
Right. Grandma number is no. But best way to look me up is LinkedIn, man. I know everybody got a LinkedIn. If you do not, you should have a LinkedIn. It's a very,
He's right. Like, if you look at my LinkedIn is terrible. It looks like I still work at Cedar Point. I haven't worked there in over 15, 20 years.
Oh my goodness.
So he was just telling me this week, he said, Tim, if you don't get your LinkedIn taken care of, he's done talking to me. So I just hired somebody. They're taking care of my LinkedIn. I know I got everybody in the back looking at me like, you hired somebody. Yes. I don't got time to figure it out. They can figure it out. They're going to fix my LinkedIn for me.
The fact that you got Cedar Point on there and it was 15, was LinkedIn even around 15, 20
Listen,
years?
I was proud of it.
So he put on there after, I ain't worked there in 7 years, but we going to put it anyway. But no, the best way to look for me is definitely on LinkedIn. Everyone should have a LinkedIn, very professional. You're able to get in touch with me there. I have my number, my personal and work email on there as well. Please text me, call me, DM me on LinkedIn. I'll get back to you.
Okay, your personal email, your work email, your phone number. What is the damn number?
Okay, number is 313-753-1340. If I do not answer, leave a voicemail, send a text message. I'll get back right away as soon as I can.
What about your email?
Work email is xscott@financialguide.com. My personal email is scottx@northwood.edu.
All right.
So
perfect. Yeah. So, tell us your number one more time for us. Give us your email one more time for us. I want to make sure that people understand that, hey, this guy was a resource and an asset for me. He helped plenty of my borrowers get into homes. He helped plenty of my people put enough money to help them save. So now their kids, they have a college fund now. You know what I'm saying? Their kids, they're prepared for the future. So if you want to leave a legacy for your kids, you need to contact my guy. All right. So give your number, give your email one more time. Tell us what the Instagram is, the LinkedIn one more time. Let us know what it is.
LinkedIn, you can find me at LinkedIn. My name is Xavier Scott. My number is 313-753-1340. They're on LinkedIn as well. Email, my work email, xscott, XSCOTT @financialguide, FINANCIAL, CIALGUIDE.com. Is my work email. My personal email is scottx, SCOTTX @northwood, NORTHWOOD.edu. And that's where you can find me. Instagram, I'm Xman Scott. You can get me on there. I'm a little bit more laid back, but definitely still very, very professional. And yeah, so and honestly, dude, what's your contact, man? Like just because he paid me that compliment, man. Like I said, I was nervous, very, very scared to buy my first house. Team Sandrich just made it very, very easy for me to purchase my first house, man. What's your number? What's your contact? How do we get into contact with you so that any first time home buyers out there who's in the same position I was, very scared, very nervous, didn't know what to do, didn't know the process, and you just made it that much easier for me. How can we make it that much easier for them, man? How can they get in touch with you?
Again, this is Tim Sanders, your favorite mortgage broker, the only one. My phone number is 248-595-1110. Again, 248-595-1110. My work email is tim@sandridge, that's SANDRIDGEFS.com. So that's Tim@Sandridge, my last name, F as in Frank, S as in Sam.com. My personal email, if you guys want to email me personally, you can. It's TimothySandridge@yahoo.com. Majority of my information is on Instagram. My Instagram name is Tim_Sandridge. I also go by the Mortgage Doctor. The reason why, if you're asking, I know you just asked, the reason why people call me the Mortgage Doctor is because I help so many people. I'm almost like I'm saving lives.
Hey,
just
give
as
one of them slogans, man. Give one of them slogans.
I used to tell real estate agents, if you're sick of your loan dying in process, give me a call. All right. So I think that's one of the main reasons why another reason why I got into it is because I was sick of seeing loans die when they shouldn't have died. I'm sick of seeing people's dreams get crushed when they shouldn't have got crushed. My job is to make sure your dreams come true. My job is to make sure I get you to the closing table. So by any means necessary, we figure out ways how to make sure that you close on your loan. Again, this is Tim Sandridge, 248-595-1110. If you're looking to buy a home, if you not looking for right now with the next 30 days, but you want to purchase one in the next year, give me a call still. We can come up with a game plan. I could give you in contact with Xavier. We can come up with a plan that can help you with the savings or build your credit to where it needs to be. So when you're getting out there into the market, you're not that just a regular borrower anymore. You're an A+ borrower. So when they see that pre-approval letter that's on the desk and they're trying to pick between you and 4 other files, they know that this person here has everything they need to be able to get the loan closed. So again, this is Tim Sanders, your favorite mortgage broker. I want to thank you guys for coming out here and or just logging on and looking at our podcast. And we will be definitely back here next week. Thank you, DJ and the DJ team, in order for allowing us to shoot here. Thank you, Xavier, for coming out here. All right, now that's enough. But yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to send me a DM, shoot me a text message, or give me a phone call. Talk to you guys soon.